When we talk about legendary scream queens, names like Jamie Lee Curtis often come to mind, and rightfully so. But for me, there's another name that deserves just as much recognition: Adrienne Barbeau. She was a force to be reckoned with in the world of horror and cult classics, making her mark in films that still have a loyal following today. But whatever happened to Adrienne Barbeau? What has she been up to in recent years? Stick around, because we're about to dive into her incredible career, her personal journey, and where she is now. Adrienne Barbeau was born on June 11, 1945 in Sacramento, California, to Armand Nalbandian and Joseph Barbeau. Her father worked as a public relations executive for Mobil Oil, while her mother was of Armenian descent. On her father's side, she had French-Canadian, Irish, and German ancestry. Growing up, she shared a close bond with her sister Jocelyn, and also had a half-brother, Robert Barbeau, from her father's side, who remained in the Sacramento area. Barbeau spent her early years in California, attending Del Mar High School in San Jose. Even as a student, she displayed a natural flair for performance, participating in school productions and finding joy in being on stage. After graduating in 1963, she enrolled at Foothill College in Los Altos Hills. However, academia wasn't where her heart lay. By the time she was 19, the pull of the stage proved too strong, and she made the bold decision to leave college and fully commit to a career in entertainment. Her first significant opportunity came when she joined a USO tour with the San Jose Light Opera, performing for American troops stationed throughout Southeast Asia. This experience became a defining moment in her life, traveling from base to base, entertaining soldiers, and witnessing firsthand the power of performance left a lasting impact on her. In her autobiography, Barbeau describes how these performances sparked her passion for show business, giving her a sense of purpose and direction. The tour exposed her to the discipline of professional performing, helping her refine her craft and gain confidence on stage. It also introduced her to the unpredictable yet exhilarating world of live entertainment, where every audience was different, and the energy of the crowd could make or break a performance. The experience shaped her as a performer, giving her the foundation she would later build upon as she transitioned from musical theater to television and eventually to the big screen. Looking back, Barbeau often credited those early performances with giving her the drive and resilience that would define her career. It was the beginning of a journey that would take her from USO stages to Broadway, from sitcoms to horror films, and ultimately to becoming one of the most iconic actresses of her generation. In the late 1960s, Adrienne Barbeau moved to New York City to pursue a career in entertainment. Before making her mark on Broadway, she took an unconventional job as a go-go dancer, later revealing that she worked for the mob during this time. Though she was earning a living through dancing, she sought opportunities in theater and soon landed a role in the Broadway production of Fiddler on the Roof. Initially part of the chorus, she eventually took on the role of Hodel, one of Tevye's daughters. In this production, she shared the stage with Bette Midler, who portrayed Hodel's sister, Tzeitel. Barbeau's time in Fiddler on the Roof helped her gain recognition, but in 1971, she made the bold decision to leave the show and accept the lead role of Cookie Kovacs in the off-Broadway adult musical Stag movie. The production, known for its risque content, required actors to perform nude in certain scenes. Barbeau's performance, alongside Brad Sullivan as Ripcord, caught the attention of the New York Times critic Clive Barnes. In his review, Barnes remarked that while the two leads may not be sexy, they were quite jolly and deserved credit for their confidence on stage, even in moments of full nudity. However, despite this note of praise, the review was largely unfavorable. Undeterred by the mixed reception of Stag movie, Barbeau continued building a successful stage career. Over the next several years, she performed in more than 25 musicals and plays, showcasing her versatility as an actress. Among her most notable roles was her performance in Grease, where she portrayed the tough, street-smart Rizzo. Her portrayal of the feisty leader of the Pink Ladies earned her widespread acclaim, leading to a Theatre World Award and a nomination for the 1972 Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a Musical. In the 1970s, Barbeau rose to prominence with her role as Carol Traynor, the independent and forward-thinking daughter of B. Arthur's Maude Findlay in the groundbreaking sitcom Maude. The series, which aired from 1972 to 1978, was a spin-off of All in the Family and tackled progressive themes, often pushing the boundaries of television at the time. Interestingly, Carol had already been introduced in a 1972 episode of All in the Family, which served as the backdoor pilot for Maude, but was originally portrayed by actress Marcia Rod. When the spin-off was developed, producers recast the role, and Barbeau was chosen to bring Carol to life. As a character, Carol was a single mother and a feminist, reflecting the shifting societal norms of the era. Her dynamic with Maude provided a generational contrast, often leading to witty yet thought-provoking exchanges. However, despite the importance of her character, Barbeau later admitted that audiences often focused more on her physical attributes than on her performance. In her autobiography, "There Are Worse Things I Could Do," she quipped, "What I didn't know was that when I said my lines, I was usually walking down a flight of stairs, and no one was even listening to me. They were just watching my breasts precede me." This humorous yet telling remark underscored the challenges faced by actresses at the time, particularly those known for their looks as much as their talent. During the final season of Maude, Barbeau's screen time significantly decreased, and she was absent from most episodes. While the reasons for her reduced role were never officially stated, some speculate that it may have been due to creative shifts within the show or her growing interest in other projects. Nevertheless, her relationship with B. Arthur remained strong long after the series ended. In a 2009 interview with Entertainment Tonight, Barbeau spoke fondly of Arthur, recalling the natural chemistry they shared both on screen and off. She revealed that their friendship endured for decades, and they remained close until Arthur's passing on April 25th, 2009. Their bond was further highlighted when they reunited in 2007 during a taping of The View, where they reminisced about their time working together and the legacy of Maude. The reunion offered fans a nostalgic look at their dynamic, reinforcing the impact the show had on television history. In a 2018 interview with Dread Central, Barbeau reflected once more on her friendship with Arthur, sharing deeper insights into their connection and the influence Arthur had on her life, both personally and professionally. As Barbeau's television career flourished in the late 1970s and early 1980s, she became a frequent guest star in popular TV series and television movies, further cementing her place in the entertainment industry. She appeared in light-hearted, star-studded shows like The Love Boat and Fantasy Island, both of which featured rotating celebrity guest casts in romantic or whimsical storylines. She also took part in Valentine Magic on Love Island, a made-for-TV movie that capitalized on the era's fascination with fantasy and romance. One of her more memorable television appearances was on Battle of the Network Stars, an athletic competition where actors from various networks competed in physical challenges. In her autobiography, Barbeau recounted the experience with humor, initially believing CBS had invited her to participate because they thought she was athletic. However, her husband offered a more cynical take, joking that her ability to win races was less important than the way she bounced when she ran. The comment reflected how much of the attention she received in Hollywood centered around her physical appearance rather than her talent. By 1978, Barbeau had fully embraced her status as a sex symbol, a reputation that was further amplified by the release of a now iconic cheesecake poster. The image featured her in a snug off-the-shoulder top, accentuating her figure, and quickly became one of the best-selling posters of its time. It turned her into a pop culture sensation, appealing to a generation of fans who saw her as the ultimate combination of beauty and strength. Film critic Joe Bob Briggs humorously summed up her appeal by referring to the two enormous talents on that woman, a remark that encapsulated how much of her fame was tied to her appearance. However, despite the opportunities that came with her sex symbol image, Barbeau had mixed feelings about how Hollywood viewed actresses, particularly those with striking looks. She openly criticized the industry for treating women as commodities, describing it as a flesh market where physical attributes often took precedence over skill and depth. While she acknowledged that her appearance played a role in her success, she expressed a strong desire to be part of films that examined the human condition and addressed meaningful issues, rather than relying on sex appeal alone. Barbeau's transition from television to film came when her then-husband, director John Carpenter, cast her in his 1980 horror film, The Fog. This marked her first major theatrical role, and the film's success propelled her into a new phase of her career. Released on February 1, 1980, The Fog became a box office hit, earning over $21 million in the United States alone, an impressive feat for a low-budget horror movie. The film, which followed the eerie events surrounding a ghostly revenge plot in a coastal California town, showcased Barbeau as the resourceful and determined radio DJ Stevie Wayne. Her performance not only proved she could carry a feature film, but also helped establish her as a recognizable figure in the horror genre. Riding the momentum of The Fog, Barbeau quickly became a sought-after actress in science fiction and horror, two genres that defined much of her early film career. In 1981, she reunited with Carpenter for Escape from New York, a dystopian action thriller that has since become a cult classic. In the film, she played Maggie, a fiercely independent and intelligent woman navigating the treacherous streets of a Manhattan-turned prison. Starring alongside Kurt Russell, Ernest Borgnine, and Donald Pleasance, Barbeau added depth to her character, proving she could bring both strength and vulnerability to genre roles. That same year, she also ventured into comedy, appearing in The Cannonball Run, a star-studded high-energy road race film featuring Burt Reynolds, Roger Moore, Farrah Fawcett, and an ensemble cast of Hollywood's biggest names. Though the film was more lighthearted than her previous projects, it demonstrated her ability to shift between genres with ease. In 1982, Barbeau continued her streak of successful genre films, starring in two now iconic horror productions. The first was Creepshow, an anthology horror film directed by George A. Romero and written by Stephen King. The film, a collection of darkly humorous and macabre tales, allowed Barbeau to showcase her versatility as an actress. She played Wilma Northrup, an abrasive and overbearing wife in the segment The Crate, a role that stood out for its mix of humor and horror. That same year, she starred in Swamp Thing, a film adaptation of the DC Comics character directed by Wes Craven. In the film, she portrayed Alice Cable, a government agent who becomes entangled in the mysterious, monstrous world of the Swamp Thing. These roles further solidified her reputation as a leading actress in horror and science fiction, genres in which she would continue to thrive. Despite her frequent collaborations with Carpenter, Barbeau maintained that her professional relationship with him was smooth and efficient. She later reflected, "John is a great director. He knows what he wants and he knows how to get it. It's simple and it's easy." While their marriage ended in 1984, their creative partnership remained a defining aspect of her early film career. As the 1980s progressed, Barbeau sought to diversify her roles beyond horror and science fiction. In 1986, she appeared in the comedy Back to School, starring Rodney Dangerfield. She played Vanessa, the sharp-tongued and social-climbing wife of Dangerfield's character, a self-made millionaire who enrolls in college to encourage his son. The role allowed Barbeau to flex her comedic skills and play against her usual tough woman persona. Then, in 1989, she starred in the satirical adventure comedy Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death, a film that blended humor, action, and social commentary in a tongue-in-cheek parody of jungle exploration movies. By the end of the decade, Barbeau had built a diverse resume, proving her ability to transition between genres while maintaining her signature screen presence. As the 1990s began, Barbeau's career transitioned into television films and guest appearances on well-known TV series, allowing her to reach new audiences while maintaining her presence in the industry. She starred in several made-for-TV movies, including Scott Turow's The Burden of Proof, 1992, a legal drama adapted from the best-selling novel of the same name. The film, which explored a lawyer's struggle with both professional and personal crises, provided Barbeau with an opportunity to take on a dramatic role in a complex narrative. She also made a memorable appearance on the popular sitcom The Drew Carey Show, where she played Oswald's mother, a character that added comedic tension to the series' storyline. However, one of Barbeau's most significant career shifts in this decade came through voice acting, which introduced her to an entirely new generation of fans. She became widely recognized for lending her voice to Catwoman in Batman, the animated series, one of the most acclaimed animated superhero shows of all time. Her portrayal of Selina Kyle, the alter ego of Catwoman, brought a sophisticated and sultry edge to the character, earning her praise from both critics and audiences. She continued voicing the role in Gotham Girls, a spin-off web series focusing on the female characters of Gotham City. The role further solidified her as an icon in animation, proving that her talents extended beyond live-action performances. In addition to acting, Barbeau expanded her career into hosting and broadcasting. She worked as a television talk show host and took on the role of a weekly book reviewer for KABC Talk Radio in Los Angeles. These ventures showcased her ability to engage with audiences in a different medium, allowing her to share her insights and passion for storytelling in a new format. Meanwhile, she also explored science fiction television, making a notable guest appearance in Star Trek: Deep Space Nine in 1999. In the episode Inter Arma Enim Silent Leges, she played Romulan Senator Kimara Kretak, a politically shrewd and formidable character. Her performance was well received, as it allowed her to step into the world of Star Trek, a franchise known for its rich storytelling and devoted fan base. Barbeau's creative pursuits didn't stop at acting. She also explored music. In 1998, she surprised fans by releasing her debut folk album, Adrienne Barbeau. While many had primarily known her as an actress, her venture into music highlighted her versatility and passion for artistic expression. Around this time, she also continued her work in animation, voicing the villainous Helga von Guggen in the animated spy comedy series, Totally Spies. Appearing in multiple seasons, her portrayal of Helga, an over-the-top eccentric antagonist, showcased her ability to bring animated characters to life with humor and energy. Her career remained strong into the 2000s, with Barbeau taking on high-profile television and stage projects. From 2003 to 2005, she starred in the critically acclaimed HBO series Carnival, a dark and mysterious drama set during the Great Depression. She portrayed Ruthie, a carnival performer with a complex and layered past. The show's rich storytelling and unique atmosphere allowed Barbeau to dive into one of her most intriguing roles, earning her praise for her nuanced performance. In 2006, she returned to the stage in the off-Broadway production of The Property, known as Garland, where she took on the challenge of portraying Judy Garland. The play explored the legendary performer's later years, focusing on the struggles and triumphs of her life. Barbeau's performance captured both the strength and vulnerability of Garland, demonstrating her ability to take on emotionally demanding roles. She also made a brief return to the horror genre in 2007 when she filmed a cameo for Rob Zombie's Halloween, a modern reimagining of the 1978 classic directed by her former husband John Carpenter. While her scene was ultimately cut from the theatrical release, it was included in the DVD version, allowing fans to see her connection to the iconic franchise that had helped shape her early film career. Throughout the decade, Barbeau continued to embrace diverse projects, proving her longevity and adaptability in an ever-evolving industry. In 2009, Barbeau continued expanding her career across multiple mediums, appearing in film, television, animation, and voice work. She took on a comedic role in the holiday family film The Dog Who Saved Christmas, where she played the eccentric cat lady, a quirky and humorous character that added levity to the movie's festive atmosphere. That same year, she voiced Scooter's mother in Fly Me to the Moon, a 3D animated adventure about three young houseflies who stow away on the Apollo 11 mission. While the film was aimed at children, her involvement demonstrated her ability to appeal to younger audiences through voice acting. Shifting to more dramatic material, Barbeau starred in Reach for Me, an emotional independent film about aging, loss, and unexpected love. She portrayed a hospice patient, a role that required her to tap into deep emotional nuance as the film explored themes of mortality and human connection. This project stood out as a contrast to her other work at the time, proving her versatility in tackling both lighthearted and serious roles. That same year, she made a guest appearance in the fourth season premiere of Showtime's critically acclaimed series, Dexter. Though her screen time was brief, her role placed her in the world of psychological thrillers, a genre she had not frequently explored. Dexter had already built a strong following by 2009, and her participation in the series introduced her to a new wave of television audiences. In 2010, Barbeau expanded her presence in the video game industry with a major role in God of War 3, one of the most highly anticipated PlayStation 3 releases of the year. She voiced Hera, the powerful and sharp-tongued queen of the gods, bringing a commanding presence to the character. Her performance as Hera stood out for its blend of regal authority and bitterness, as the goddess's resentment toward protagonist Kratos played a crucial role in the game's narrative. Her portrayal of Hera further solidified her reputation in the gaming world, where she continued to receive praise for her voice work. During the same period, she joined the long-running ABC soap opera General Hospital, taking on a recurring role that added yet another dimension to her television career. While she had previously appeared in high-profile primetime dramas and sitcoms, this marked one of her most extended roles in daytime television. Her work on television continued with Revenge, the popular ABC primetime drama centered around deception, power struggles, and long-buried secrets. She played the mother of Victoria Grayson, the series' ruthless and enigmatic antagonist played by Madeline Stowe. Although her role was initially brief, she returned in Revenge's final season in 2014, where her character, on her deathbed, made a shocking revelation about Victoria's true parentage. The moment added a dramatic twist to the series, reinforcing Barbeau's ability to deliver impactful performances even in limited screen time. Barbeau's contributions to video games extended beyond God of War 3. In 2012, she voiced Dr. Tilson, a UNSC scientist in Halo 4, a game that was one of the most anticipated releases for the Xbox 360. Her portrayal of Dr. Tilson, a knowledgeable and seasoned scientist caught in the middle of an intergalactic war, added depth to the game's storyline. She continued working in the gaming industry in 2015 when she lent her voice to the Mad Max video game, an adaptation of the beloved post-apocalyptic film franchise. In addition to her voice work, Barbeau returned to the big screen with a role in Argo, 2012, the Academy Award-winning historical drama, directed by Ben Affleck. She played the ex-wife of Alan Arkin's character, a veteran Hollywood producer who becomes involved in a covert CIA mission to rescue American hostages from Iran. Although her role was small, appearing in such a high-profile film alongside an acclaimed ensemble cast further demonstrated her ability to seamlessly transition between independent projects, voice acting, television, and major Hollywood productions. Barbeau returned to one of her most beloved roles when she reprised her voice as Catwoman in an animated remake of the third trailer for The Dark Knight Rises. This special project was produced as both a tribute to Christopher Nolan's highly anticipated film and a promotional event for the Hub's 10-episode marathon of Batman, the animated series. Her portrayal of Selina Kyle had long been regarded as one of the most definitive interpretations of Catwoman in animation, making her return a nostalgic treat for longtime fans. The trailer reimagined the Dark Knight Rises footage in the distinct art style of Batman, the animated series, with Barbeau's familiar voice bringing Catwoman back to life. Her participation in the project underscored the lasting impact of her performance in the 1990s series, reminding audiences why her version of the character remained so iconic. In 2015, Barbeau embraced a new challenge in live theater, joining the Broadway touring production of Pippin. Taking on the role of Bertha, she stepped into the shoes of Pippin's wise and free-spirited grandmother, a character known for delivering both comedic relief and heartfelt wisdom. The musical, originally created by Stephen Schwartz and Bob Fosse, follows the journey of a young prince searching for purpose, with Bertha encouraging him to embrace life and live in the moment. One of the most memorable aspects of the role was the performance of No Time at All, a crowd-pleasing number that invited audience participation. True to the revival's dazzling and acrobatic style, Barbeau performed her role while suspended in midair, adding a physically demanding element to the part. Her involvement in Pippin not only showcased her theatrical roots but also demonstrated her willingness to take on adventurous and physically challenging roles, even later in her career. Her performance was well received, proving that she still had the charisma and stage presence that had defined her early career in musical theater. Continuing to explore new creative avenues, Barbeau returned to voice acting in 2021 with a role in The World to Come, a sci-fi musical audio drama. She lent her voice to Queen Gehenna, a character that required her to bring depth and power to the storytelling entirely through vocal performance. The series blended elements of science fiction, fantasy, and music, creating an immersive experience for listeners. Unlike traditional film or television roles where actors rely on physical expressions and movement, audio dramas demand a heightened level of vocal expression to convey emotion and atmosphere. Barbeau's experience in voice work, particularly in animation and video games, made her a natural fit for the project. Her portrayal of Queen Gehenna added gravitas to the series, and her deep, commanding voice helped shape the character as a formidable and compelling presence within the story. With these roles, Barbeau continued to demonstrate her versatility across multiple entertainment mediums, proving her enduring talent in voice acting, theater, and film. Whether through animation, stage performances, or immersive audio storytelling, she maintained a lasting presence in the industry, captivating audiences across generations. Barbeau first met director John Carpenter in 1978 while working on his television thriller Someone's Watching Me, a suspense film that would mark one of Carpenter's early successes before his breakthrough with Halloween later that year. Their professional collaboration quickly turned into a romantic relationship, and on January 1st, 1979, the couple married in a private ceremony. Rather than immersing themselves in the typical Hollywood social scene, they chose to live a quieter life in Coldwater Canyon, on the Studio City side of Los Angeles. During their marriage, Barbeau became closely associated with Carpenter's work, starring in several of his films including The Fog, 1980, where she played radio DJ Stevie Wayne, and Escape from New York, 1981, in which she portrayed the tough and resourceful Maggie. These films helped solidify her status as a leading actress in the horror and science fiction genres, and her collaborations with Carpenter became some of the most defining moments of her early film career. However, despite their successful creative partnership, their marriage began to unravel. After 5 years together, the couple separated, with their split occurring shortly after the birth of their son, John Cody Carpenter, on May 7, 1984. They officially divorced later that same year. Although their marriage ended, Barbeau and Carpenter remained connected through their son, who inherited their artistic talents. Cody grew up to become a musician and composer, known for his work in the film industry, including contributing to scores for Halloween franchise projects alongside his father. His passion for music led him to collaborate frequently with John Carpenter, blending classic synth influences with modern electronic sounds, a style reminiscent of his father's iconic film scores. Several years after her divorce, Barbeau found love again when she met actor, playwright, and producer Billy Van Zandt in 1991. Their paths crossed when she was cast in the West Coast premiere of Drop Dead, a play Van Zandt had co-written. The production, a fast-paced comedy that satirized the world of theater, became a pivotal point in both their personal and professional lives. Their chemistry extended beyond the stage, and they married in 1992. By the late 1990s, Barbeau experienced a new chapter in her personal life. On March 17, 1997, at nearly 52 years old, she gave birth to twin boys, Walker Stephen and William Dalton Van Zandt. Embracing the humor and becoming a mother again later in life, she famously quipped that she was likely the only woman in the maternity ward who was also a member of AARP. Despite the late-in-life pregnancy, she fully embraced motherhood, balancing her acting career while raising her young children. Barbeau and Van Zandt remained married for over 2 decades, working together on various projects while managing their busy careers and family life. Van Zandt, known for his success in comedy writing and theater production, continued to create stage comedies and television projects, while Barbeau pursued a mix of film, television, voice work, and live theater. However, after 26 years of marriage, the couple filed for divorce in 2018. Though the end of her second marriage marked another major change in her personal life, Barbeau remained focused on her career. She continued taking on new roles across different entertainment mediums, while also dedicating time to her 3 sons, supporting Cody's career in music and watching Walker and William grow into adulthood. Through the ups and downs of her personal life, she maintained her resilience, adapting to new phases of her career while embracing the joys and challenges of motherhood. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite Adrienne Barbeau role? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the best of classic film and television. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.